Hello everybody, my name is Advik Narkarni and I am appearing for the grade 4 Trinity examination. I'm going to start with my task 1, The Dentist and the Crocodile by Roald Dahl. The crocodile, with a cunning smile, sat in the dentist's chair and said, "Right here and everywhere, my teeth require repair." The dentist's face was turning white. He quivered, quaked, and shook. He muttered, "I suppose I'm going to have to take a look." "I want you," the crocodile declared, "to do the back ones first. The molars at the very back are easily the worst." The dentist kept himself well clear. He stood 2 yards away. He chose the longest probe he had to search out the decay. "I said to do the back ones first," the crocodile called out. You're, you're much too far away, dear sir, to see what you're about." "To do the back ones first, you're going to have to put your head deep down inside my great big mouth," the grinning crocky said. The dentist wrung his hands and, weeping in despair, said, "No, no, I see them all extremely well from here." Just then, in burst a lady, in her hands a golden chain. She cried, "Oh, Croc, you naughty boy, you've been playing tricks again." "Watch out!" the dentist shrieked as he started climbing up the wall. "He's after me! He's after you! He's going to eat us all!" "Oh, don't be a twit," the lady said, flashing a gorgeous smile. "He's harmless. He's my little pet, my lovely crocodile." Thank you. Now, I'll be moving on to my task 2. I Am Prepared to Die by Nelson Mandela. "Above all, my lord, we want equal political rights, because without them, our disabilities will be permanent." I know this sounds revolutionary to the whites in this country, as majority of the voters will be African. This makes the white man fear democracy. But this fear cannot be allowed to stand in the way of the only solution which will guarantee racial harmony and freedom of all. It is not true that the enfranchisement of all will result in racial domination. Political division based on color is entirely artificial, and when it disappears, so will the domination of one color group by another. The ANC has spent half a century fighting against racialism. When it triumphs, as it certainly must, it will not change that policy. This, then, is what the ANC is fighting for. Their struggle is a truly national one. It is a struggle of the African people, inspired by their own suffering and our own experience. It is a struggle for the right to live. During my lifetime, I have dedicated myself to this struggle of the African people. I have fought against white domination and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and receive equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But, if need be, It is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. Thank you. Now, I'll be moving on to my task 3, Gulliver and Lilliput by Ken Pickering. Ugh, ugh, I'm so tired, so exhausted. All that swimming and the ship wrecked, totally wrecked. All my friends must have died, swept away. It's only me alive now. Me, Gulliver. What is this place? Where am I? I'm just too tired to explore. I must sleep. Must sleep. Sleep. What a sleep. I was dreaming. Ow! Ow! What is this? I can't move my head. My head's stuck to the ground. My hands and arms. What's happening? Ouch! Something's pulling my hair back. If I could just turn my head perhaps. Ow! No. I'd better lie completely still on my back. Trouble is, I can only look up. The sun is right in front of my eyes. Now what am I supposed to do? Just lay still, Gulliver, and think. How did this happen? Am I stuck to the ground with glue? Or no? If I just look down, I can see them all over my body. Hundreds of tiny ropes fastening me to the ground. And my hair. There are pegs pulling my hair back. Wait a minute. Can I feel something moving? Yes, it's coming up my left leg. I hope it's not a rat. It's coming close to my chest. Ah! What is this? There was a man. Only about 6 inches high. I think I saw several of them, and they all ran away. I know. I must speak more quietly. All these little people falling off me, it must be like falling down a mountain for them. I'd better stop struggling and be friendly. Good heavens. There's about 40 of them. I've never seen anything like it. They've all got bows and arrows ready to shoot at me. I must be careful of my eyes. Wait, there's one near my chest. He's lifting his hand up as if to say hello. Don't do that. It'll make me blink or sneeze. If I could just get my hand free, done it. Ow! I can feel how they fixed my hair. Don't do that. They've all got spears ready to shoot at me. They're trying to stick spears into me. Thank goodness I'm wearing this thick jerkin. They can't pierce that. I'll lie completely still now. I must act friendly. Will you all please tell me when the little people are coming back? Thank you. Now, I'll be moving on to my task 4, The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. The afternoon sun was getting low as the rat sculled gently homewards in a dreamy mood, murmuring poetry things over to himself and not paying much attention to Mole. But the mole was very full of lunch and self-satisfaction and pride. and already quite at home in a boat, so he thought, and was getting a bit restless besides. And presently he said, "Ratty, please, I want to row now." The rat shook his head with a smile. "Not yet, my young friend," he said. "Wait till you have had a few lessons. It's not as easy as it looks." The mole was quiet for a minute or two, but he began to feel more and more jealous of Rat, sculling so strongly and so easily along. And his pride began to whisper that he could do it every bit as well. He jumped up and seized the skull so suddenly that the rat, who was gazing out over the water and saying more poetry things to himself, was taken by surprise and fell backwards off his seat with his legs in the air for the second time, while the triumphant mole took his place and grabbed the skulls with entire confidence. "Stop it, you silly ass!" cried the rat from the bottom of the boat. "You can't do it! You will have us over!" The mole flung his skulls back with a flourish and made a great dig at the water. He missed the surface altogether. His legs flew up above his head, and he found himself lying on the top of Ratty. Greatly alarmed, made a grab at the side of the boat, and the next moment, sploosh! Thank you. Now, I'll be moving on to my task 5, reflection. First question, please.
Which of your pieces was the most challenging to perform and why?
For me, the most challenging piece to perform was "I Am Prepared to Die" by Nelson Mandela. I liked the speech because of its firmness and boldness and confidence. But the speech was a little difficult because it was serious and emotional. The first reason was I had to change my emotions according to the message. For example, when Mandela talks about fighting for his ideals, I had to say it in a soft and calm voice so as to emphasize on the importance of his words. Another reason why it was difficult was because I had to change my tone according to the message. Sometimes I had to sound serious and sometimes I had to sound calm. For example, when Nelson Mandela states that he's prepared to die for his ideals, I had to say it in a firm voice which was also soft. Thank you.
Describe the themes or narratives or settings of one of your pieces. How did you show these to the audience?
I will tell you the themes of Task 1, The Dentist and the Crocodile by Roald Dahl. I think it is like the main themes of The Dentist and the Crocodile is fear and humor. It's silly because the crocodile wants to, it's scary because the crocodile wants to eat the dentist, but it's silly because he's trying to sound like he's not. I brought this to life for the audience to see by using my voice and actions. For example, when the crocodile said, "I want you to do the back ones first," I had to say it in a deep voice, and I also had to grin. For the dentist, when he said, "Watch out, he's after me, he's after you, he's going to eat us all," I had to sound scared and as if my life was on the line. Thank you. Next question, please.
How did you create the mood or atmosphere in task 4?
I am going to talk about Task 4, The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grant. I created the mood by using my voice and actions. For example, for the mole, I had to sound excited and a little impatient. For example, when he said, "Please, Ratty, I want to row now." Then, for the rat, I spoke in a calm voice, like a mentor. For example, when he said, "Not when you have had a few lessons. It's not as easy as it looks." I also used my emotions to create this atmosphere. For example, when the rat was sculling gently along and the mole was angry, he was jealous, I had to sound like an impatient, jealous person for the mole, as he wanted to just take the skulls from rat to prove that he could do it as easily as him. And for the rat, I used a genuinely concerned voice because he was scared of what was going to happen to him and the mole after the mole took the skulls from him. Thank you. Next question, please.
How did you use your voice and body to create the characters in your pieces?
For the voice, I practiced voice exercises like humming and gargled my mouth with warm water. And for my body language, I practiced in the front of the mirror early in the morning to see my expressions and how I can improve on them. In task 1, the dentist and the crocodile, I used a cunning, deep voice for the crocodile because he was trying to sound polite while in reality he wanted to eat the dentist. And I even opened my mouth wide to show the crocodile's massive jaws. For the dentist, I sounded scary and concerned as he was trying to get away from the crocodile as fast as he possibly could. In task 2, I am prepared to die. I had to sound strong and confident and stand in a straight manner, as that's what Nelson Mandela would usually do. For the expressions, I use my body expressions with the power pose to show the impact of his words. In task 3, Gulliver and Lilliput, I had to sound polite but also confused at the same time because he didn't know where he was. He was scared, and the little people thought that he was a monster and he was going to attack them. So I had to also sound polite so as to not scare them off or provoke them. In task 4, the wind in the willows, I used an impatient and excited voice for the mole, and a concerned voice for the rat. And during some scenes, like when the mole took the skull from the rat suddenly, I acted as if I was just snatching something from someone out of the blue. I think overall this helped my performance be a lot better and the audience could feel what the characters felt. This brings me to a close of my Trinity performance.